So Dragon Ball Fighters came out of nowhere with a big ass patch with a whole bunch of changes that pretty much changes the way that the game works and a lot of characters function, such as UI Goku, Ultimate Gohan, my favorite, and a couple of others that really made a good big change that changes the entire fundamentals of the game, how it's played, skill gaps, and tier lists entirely. Now, I'm personally happy about this. As you guys can see, I've spent plenty of hours on Fighters, and that's just this account. But Fighters was my first official FGC game that I put a lot of interest in just because not only was it a Dragon Ball title, but I liked the way it played. It had a lot of my favorite characters, and it just seemed interesting. It was a great introduction to FGC for me, and I wasn't always that good at the game, but eventually it got better. I learned about annotations, I learned about skill gaps, all the whole nine, inputs, frames, everything. And I think it's absolutely great that this game has a patch and that they even hinted at more patches in future DLC. So it's possible that Fighters could be making a comeback. But while I was excited and looking for the next concept to make a Dragon Ball Fighters vid, what to do, I hopped on Twitter and scrolled through because I haven't been on social media in a while just to see what's going on with the update, to see the combos, to see how excited people are. And I was disgusted to see that instead of a bunch of exciting people and news, it was just a back and forth comparison besides Dragon Ball Fighters and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now, that's not every single person that posted. Of course, we did have some people who were posting for positivity and had a lot of good combos to show off and changes and were very hype and were drowning out the negativity. But it was quickly followed up by the Sparking Zero community that just came out of nowhere and started to compare the two games and making claims about how Sparking Zero is more competitive, how it has more combo options, about how Fighters is just a copy and paste easy game. And it really bothered the shit out of me because if you're a fan, first of all, of Dragon Ball, you shouldn't even be comparing the two. You should be happy that games are thriving. If you're a true Dragon Ball fan, if you like the characters in the game that you're playing and you support the franchise, it shouldn't matter if one game is better than the other, or what has what patches and what is trash. It's Dragon Ball. We should all be celebrating regardless because our favorite franchise, right, as a group, as a whole, as a community, has a new patch. And that means whether or not you're a fan of Sparking or Dragon Ball or Xenoverse, it doesn't matter. The Dragon Ball franchise is thriving and they're putting in good effort to make sure that these games do well, right? Do better, I should say. And it is just sad to see, again, that the Sparking Zero community is just filled with so much negativity. And that's the main reason why the game is dead. I tried to stream the other day. I hopped on just to look for simple lobbies, tournaments, anything. And you literally only find like 5 people in any of it. I sat there for 10 minutes looking for ranked, nothing. And it's not even like it was midnight. It was 8 p.m. on a Saturday and nothing. And it really shows why the game is in that state because the continuous state of negativity from the same people who claim that they want the game to do well is just astounding. And like I said before, I'm no main defender of Sparking Zero. I know the game really should have a lot more stuff in it, but the continuous beating that this game has gotten in terms of the community backlash and the negativity revolving around the failed state of Sparking Zero is oversold at this point. I've said this time and time again, and I've gotten crucified over and over again over the fact that one of the main reasons why the Sparking Zero game didn't work so well is not so much as to the game itself, but the overall attitude of the community when it comes to fixing this game and the things that they could do better. And till this day, we still have content creators bashing the game and talking about how the game failed and what's wrong with it and why it's bad, and no solutions, really. I think that both games are great, and I think that as a community, we should really do better to just enjoy it and have fun. Now, if you guys are interested in Dragon Ball Fighters content and you are excited as I am in terms of what this game has to offer, I am going to be doing a Fighters Return series. And this is something I used to play on my old channel, Cash and Kuma. And it's something I'm going to bring back where I play different characters, try to get good at the game again, and really advance my skill. Ranked is very hard to find on this game. A lot more people play player match and what's that team mode game based thing. So I'm going to be doing more exhibitions than anything. I would like to do a ranked series from scratch, but I feel like if I were to go on PC and work my way up, that would low-key be smurfing. But it also could be a fun series. Let me know down below if you guys want to see that. But the first thing we're going to start off with is learning characters, making up new teams, and just having fun, good gameplay matches. And then from there, I'm going to start branching out into some other stuff and, you know, making combo videos once I get the hang of actually being good at the game again. So for now, we're just going to have simple gameplay and things of that nature. But in terms of sparking zero, that's a whole nother attitude and thing in itself. Because as I've said before, I was originally going to make guide videos, but it's impossible to make guides or any gameplay videos when you can't find a match. And again, I'm gonna say it for the last time, and I'm not saying it again. It's highly due to the community's attitude and the way people handled this game. Till this day, every single time I get on YouTube, it's nothing but the failure of Sparking Zero. Why is Sparking Zero is bad? The Sparking Zero did this wrong. And even when they freshly dropped the DLC, we had a couple of people who played it, but immediately after, as soon as they upload the videos, and went straight back to negativity. And I feel like, as a franchise as a whole, as a community, we should do a lot more to uplift the series. The same thing I got bashed for in terms of bashing the community and spreading negativity. I stopped that a minute ago. People still do it, but hey, Sparking Zero is kind of cooked at this point. It's a year, it's cooked, but we're excited for Fighterz though. I wish both games could thrive. I hope Sparking Zero does get more DLC, but for now, we're gonna be on the Fighterz train, and I'm pretty excited to see what I can get and figure out in terms of a lot of these characters. My main is Gohan. I'm trying to learn UI again just because of how sick they made his combos. I mean, look at some of these mix-ups and things that I created in some of these mid-matches. And Cell, of course, I'm trying to relearn his TOD as well, figure out how this game works again. But this is a simple video, not to really bash anybody, not to spread negativity, but to really come on, y'all. I think we should really do better. Enough with the back and forth. Enough with this game is bad. We all know the developers aren't doing the best they can. But if they're coming back and they're saying, you know what, we might be able to cook with this game after all. They might give us skins. They could give us more DLC. They could give us more maps. Let's not bash it. Let's not compare it. Let's not say this game is better than that one. Let's not point fingers like we're in kindergarten and be like, ha ha, you guys are, come on, y'all. Same thing with Xenoverse 2, 3. It doesn't matter. If people get Xenoverse 3, so be it, bro. I'm not a fan of Xenoverse 2 because of the netcode. It's horrible. I think the game in terms of offline is great. In terms of online, the netcode is horrible. The CAC system is horrible. I don't like the game that much for that reason and toxicity of the community. But in terms of the game itself, if people get a Xenoverse 3, so what? Let them enjoy it. Stop hopping online, sending up messages, and trying to police people on what they can and can't enjoy. And if you are somebody who is bothered by this stuff, then try to filter it out and just enjoy what you enjoy, which is what I'm doing forward for the channel. Your boy Kaizen is back, coming back with positivity, and I'm going to try to get out as many gameplay and fun upload videos as possible of me enjoying these different games. So if you guys are a fan of the channel, if you guys are a fan of FGC content, I will be playing this shit nonstop to get better. So I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm going to see you guys in the next video, and this is Kaizen's return, bro. We back. Let's fucking go.